Wow. Okay. A lot to uncover in this video here. Robert Saleh is expected to return to the 49ers to be their next defensive coordinator, bearing any major changes. This is coming from Matt Mayoko of NBCS Sports and Mike Silver of The Athletic. Both of these guys very roped into the 49ers organization. Um, Basically, what's being reported, Robert Saleh is not flying to Jacksonville to take his second interview for the Jags head coaching job because Liam Cohen, the Buccaneers offensive coordinator, that was just of 48 hours ago the leading candidate to become the next Jaguars head coach, has revisited the opportunity to become the Jaguars head coach following the firing of Trent Baalke, the Jaguars general manager. So pretty much yesterday, Liam Cohen turns down a second interview for the Jags. 2 hours later, 3 hours later, Shad Khan fires Trent Baalke. What's being reported, he calls Liam Cohen back and is like, look, hey, we are willing to pay you Ben Johnson type of money, and we'll let you pick your general manager if you just come back for a second interview. So Liam Cohen yesterday agrees on a deal to become one of the highest paid offensive coordinators in the league with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously hadn't put pen to paper yet. Flies to Jacksonville today, and again, this is all what's being reported. Flies back to Jacksonville today and is now in the final stages of becoming the next Jaguars head coach. This is one of the craziest situations of a head coaching hire in probably the history of the NFL. So pretty much, at NFL Stroud on Twitter, Rick Stroud said, to be clear, Liam Cohen contacted Buccaneers head coach Todd Bowles around 5 p.m. today. He said that he had been with one of his kids at the doctor who was sick, and he mentioned that he wanted to look back into the idea of becoming the Jaguars head coach. So, obviously, the Jaguars' decision of firing Trent Baalke has obviously made this job much more attractive to the prospective candidates that are in the running: Robert Saleh, Liam Cohen, all of the candidates that they have had on their radar. With the firing of Trent Baalke, this job becomes way, way more appealing. So due to this whole Liam Cohen situation, with him flying to Jacksonville, meeting with Shad Khan, and currently what's being reported being in the final stages of becoming their next head coach after backing out yesterday and accepting an offer from the Bucs to stay with them to be their offensive coordinator. The Bucs were prepared to make him one of the top paid offensive coordinators in all of football. So after verbally accepting the job from Tampa Bay, he then flies back down to Jacksonville, pretty much lied to the Buccaneers organization from what it looks like. Is currently meeting with Shad Khan in hopes of becoming their next head coach. Because of this, Robert Saleh obviously he didn't fly out to Jacksonville tonight. Obviously, he was expected to have a second interview with the Jags tomorrow. And now with this news of Cohen potentially getting this job, or the frontline man potentially in the final stages of becoming their head coach, Robert Saleh does not fly down to Jacksonville as he's waiting for this kind of whole situation to unfold. This has to be one of the most insane turn of events for an NFL head coaching hire and in history of the NFL. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Obviously, this has helped the 49ers out tremendously because now they're expected to get Saleh back as their defensive coordinator. So then obviously Mike Silver reports and puts out a tweet and says, I expect the 49ers to rehire Robert Saleh as their defensive coordinator soon. obviously, if he doesn't take a head coaching job. Obviously, the Raiders' job and the Cowboys' job is expected to still be available at this time. However, the Cowboys, from what I read earlier today on Twitter, are getting close to hiring Brian Schottenheimer as their next head coach, who is currently their offensive coordinator. So, yeah, I can't believe the current situation that like this current Jaguars situation is. So yeah, I mean, obviously, Robert, this tremendously helps Robert Saleh to return to the 49ers. Even Matt Mayoko tweeted out Robert Saleh is in line to be the 49ers defensive coordinator unless he ends up with the head coaching position. If he is a defensive coordinator this season, it'll be with the 49ers, he told the team. So when the 49ers interviewed Robert Saleh for their defensive coordinator job, he told the team, look, if I'm not going to be able to get a head coaching job, I'm going to return to being a defensive coordinator, and it's only going to be with you guys. So there's no competition for Robert Saleh going to the 49ers, aside from him potentially becoming a head coach, which obviously now looks probably unlikely, considering, again, Cowboys inching closer to potentially hiring Brian Schottenheimer, their offensive coordinator, as their next head coach, and obviously now with Liam Cohen taking a wild turn on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, flying down to Jacksonville, and is now in talks to become their next head coach. Wow. So that's where things currently stand on this Robert Saleh situation. Again, this is madness. I've never seen this ever in the history of the NFL. I mean, obviously, we know of the Josh McDaniels situation with the Indianapolis Colts, many years ago with him basically being on a plane to go to Indianapolis to finalize a deal to become their next head coach. And then obviously, allegedly, his plane takes a U-turn. He backs out of the deal last minute. And obviously the Colts end up hiring a different guy to be their head coach. So we've seen situations in a way kind of like this. But man, yeah, this is insane. Josina Anderson just put out a tweet. The Bucs are currently concentrating on finding their next offensive coordinator, with Liam Cohen expected to become the next Jaguars head coach. So this thing's like almost done in a sense. And again, per The Athletic, 49ers expected to hire Robert Saleh as their next DC. So just a crazy turn of events, wildly in the 49ers' favor. And it all started with Trent Baalke's firing in Jacksonville. And then obviously Shad Khan, realizes that, like, man, Trent Baalke being our general manager is really hurting these coaching interviews. And it's really hurting us in hiring some of the top candidates that we want. I can't believe that Shad Khan didn't fire Trent Baalke when he fired Doug Peterson, because obviously the Jags missed out on a couple different coaching hires. Obviously, most notably Ben Johnson, but there's a couple other guys out there that they could have gotten, and they wait a couple weeks after firing Doug Peterson to fire Trent Baalke, and it's kind of biting them right now. Obviously, I think Liam Cohen's going to be a decent hire for them and whatnot, but they could have had a chance to get Ben Johnson. So yeah, man. I mean, again, this whole thing is absolutely nuts. But obviously, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Obviously, nothing is official yet. It's just being reported that Saleh is expected to return to the 49ers as their next defensive coordinator. The return is likely. It's almost imminent at this point in time, bearing that he gets a head coaching job. So we shall see what happens, but I would assume in the next few days, Robert Saleh will return to the 49ers officially as their defensive coordinator.